Hello fellow students, this is Catherine Mitchell. This is my video component for our instructional project for English 314 for the spring semester of 2017. I will be showing you the instructional manual for utilizing a body substance isolation kit. The first step in using a body substance isolation kit is to recognize when you need to use one. There are a few situations when you need to use a body substance isolation kit, or we're going to shorten it to BSI kit. The first of those is treating a patient who's producing a large amount of bodily fluids. This could be somebody who's vomiting a lot, somebody who has a large wound that's bleeding a lot, something that you don't want to contaminate yourself with and don't want to contaminate an open wound of your patient with. So we're going to go ahead and isolate ourselves from them and them from us. Another component is when you're treating a patient with an immune deficiency. So somebody who has a very compromised system to fight infections and bacteria, so that you need to protect them from your own germs. And then the final is just any situation where you need to clean up large amounts of bodily fluid and you need to protect yourself from that and potentially all of your open skin. So the first thing that we need to check in our BSI kit are the components. Each kit is a little bit different, but most kits have these basic components. The first is a pair of disposable gloves. The second is a breathing barrier with some type of face shield. This is to protect your eyes as well as your mouth and your nasal passages. Then you'll have a protective gown that's going to cover the front of your body and your arms down to the sleeve or down to the wrists. You'll have a set of antiseptic wipes to use either before or after you use your kit. And then you'll have a biohazard bag to dispose of all the components of your kit after they're used. Donning your BSI kit is a step-by-step process. The first step is going to be to open and inspect the contents. We want to make sure that none of the contents have been damaged. The kits could be sitting for a long amount of time if you haven't had to use them, or they're not being rotated regularly. So we want to inspect them for any discoloration or damage to make sure that they're safe and that they'll function correctly. The second step is going to be to don the protective gown. The gown should be put on your front and tied securely in the back so that the wrists fit your wrists snugly so that the gloves can slide over them. The third step is going to be to don the breathing barrier and face shield. You can see here on the screen that Sarah has the mask pulled snugly over her ears. The flexible metal bar is pinched over her nose, and the mask is pulled down below her chin to completely isolate her nasal and breathing passages, and the face shield is up over her eyes, eyebrows, and forehead to prevent any splash risk from getting down into her eyes. Step 4 is going to be to don the gloves. This is the final step. When you put the gloves on, you want to pull them down and seal them over the wrists of the gown, as you can see in the photo. This is to prevent any fluid from getting on your skin in between the gown and your gloves, and prevent traveling down to your hands and potentially getting into open skin. This is someone fully dressed, ready to go with their BSI kit. You can see the gown is completely covering their front. The gloves are sealed over their hands. The mask is on properly with the face shield covering their eyes. After we've used our kit, it's important to dispose of it correctly. It's a step-by-step process, very similar to putting it on. The first step is going to be to remove the breathing barrier and face shield. We need to be very careful not to touch our face. So you should grab the mask and pull it away from the face so that it comes off the ears and it goes right into the biohazard bag. The second step is to remove the gown. The gown should be removed by pulling on the shoulders and pulling it down so that the sleeves roll down the arms and come off so that the gown comes off inside out. That also goes in the biohazard bag. The last step is probably the most complicated step, and that's correctly removing your gloves. You want to remove your gloves in such a way that your skin never touches the contaminated material, whatever that is, on the glove surface. You're going to pull with your gloved hand, you're going to pull one glove off one hand and ball it up inside your hand like you can see in the photo. Now that you have an uncovered hand, you're going to take 2 fingers and slip them down in the wrist and pull the glove off, turning it inside out like you can see in the middle picture, completely inverting the glove with the other contaminated glove inside, as you can see in the third picture. This means that the only surface of the gloves that we are now touching are the insides of the gloves that were already in contact with our skin. All of the contaminants are contained within the gloves. These also are going to go inside the biohazard bag, and it's going to be tied securely and disposed of in a proper bin. Any use of a body isolation kit is not 100%. There's always a chance of being exposed if you don't use the kit correctly or if there was damage to the kit. You always need to combine the kit with proper cleaning and hand washing procedures to keep yourself as safe as possible. When used correctly, a body isolation kit could prevent disease transmission either from a patient to you or from you to a patient. But again, nothing is 100% and you still need to use basic first aid hygiene procedures to keep yourself safe. Thank you.